Hey guys, so I know how to upload a video without going through my live stream version. I did not manage to make it into the group. I mean, I'm signed up for the group, but with everything in my life, I got busy during the time they met. And so here we go. This is a school project, friends. A school project. So let's talk safety in preschool. So there's some things that need to be known. Let's start with number 1. Know your child, know their allergies, know their likes, their dislikes. If they have siblings, that's a very huge thing because you might not know that they have an older sibling and an older sibling comes to pick them up one day and you'll be like, who are you? I never met you before. You're not on my list of people to pick this kid up. And if something like that happens, you should never turn the child over to the person unless you have a proper form of ID and have called and confirmed with the parents. So you shouldn't be dealing with that anyway, because they should be screening at the front office for people coming in and out. Another big thing is make sure your eyes are on the children at all times. Like, I know that's a hard one for people to understand. I'm sorry, I'm a preschool teacher myself right now. And so this is me speaking not only from what I've read in the book, but from personal experience as well. A big thing is to keep your eye on your kids at all times. If you have 2 teachers, you guys should never be in the same spot. One teacher should be on the left side of the playground and the other teacher should be on the right side. And vice versa. And the same thing in the classroom. I always, if I'm sitting, keep my eyes where I can see both doors because I have a door to the outside and I have a door to the hallway in my classroom. And so I always sit where I can see both because if you can't see both, you can ensure your children's safety. Like, plain and simple. If you know your child has an allergy, you got to keep your medicine where, like, example, like an EpiPen or Benadryl or what have you. You got to keep that. My people keep it in a first aid bag that we carry around everywhere, but it's got to be accessible at all times. It cannot be locked away because if in an event of an emergency you can't get into that cabinet fast enough, you're doomed. So you go into the backpack, you unzip the backpack quickly, you pull out the medicine and you administer it. And then you write it in your medication log. The medication log is a big thing. Making sure you're certified in medical administration is a big thing because if you're not certified, you can have a lawsuit on your hands if it's administered incorrectly. Trying to think of stuff. Keeping your licenses and certifications up to date is a real big thing because if you don't keep them up to date and state walks in, you're doomed. You're basically going to get told, get it up to date or you're going to be shut down. That's the gist of it. They like to keep everything up to date. So, like, my school makes sure you have a physical up to date. We have to have what's that called? Our training's up to date. We have to have all these things up to date, and they have to fit, and they have to all be printed out and kept locked under lock and key in the file cabinet. The only one that checks is licensing and the nurse. Because if the nurse comes by, she's checking that our medical administration paperwork is up to date. She's checking that. She's checking everything, basically. I think a big thing that people don't realize when they start in preschool or younger is that there's a lot of stuff that has to happen in a day to keep these children safe. We have what we call a name to face, and I really wish I had one on me right now. I don't at the moment. They're all at my work. But it's essentially, let me grab a piece of paper because I can explain it with a piece of paper. We have a printed out paper. And that printed out paper will have hold on, I'm writing it down. It'll have, usually on the top, it'll have your classroom name. It'll have the child, you'll write the child's name, the time they came into your care, the time they leave your care, and who they left with and where they left. So, like, if a child comes into my care, we have soccer, say, going on, and they get pulled by the soccer coach to go to soccer. I'm writing that soccer coach's name, and I'm writing the time they left and the fact that they went to soccer. Because you're responsible, and if there's ever, say, like a fire or tornado or a lockdown, you need to know where your kids are. Plain and simple. But we do that, and at the very bottom, it has a thing that says how many, it's got times on the side and a place where you write how many kids you have, and then you and your partner in crime's initials. And that just helps us keep track of our kids throughout the day. So, like, say Billy Bob went to soccer at 10. He still gets counted. Oh, that's not right. Say we had. Let's see. So we have Billy Bob, and he went to soccer at 10, right? So this says 10. Let's say we had 11 kids at 10. So when Billy Bob goes to soccer, we have 10 kids, and then you initial it. That's how you keep track of your kids. Like, I know most places just mark them in for the day and mark them out for the day, and they don't mark them when they go to specials or like the office. That is so dangerous, because you could lose a child throughout the day and not realize you lost the child. I can't stress how important keeping track of how many kids you have, what their allergies are, what their personalities are, is so important. I have a child, well, I don't have him anymore. I had him in the past, who would sit there and look at you, make sure you look at you, watch who, and then the minute you turn your head, they'd put tiny things in their mouth. And while yes, we have choke tubes, the school that I worked for at the time didn't believe in choke tubes, and for the age I had, which is the ages I've always had is 3 to 5 year olds. Choke tubes are more prevalent in the classes under 3, but like the 3-year-olds don't really have them. Probably should, but don't. And right now I work at a Montessori, so we don't have choke tubes at all. So neat to see the difference in how these kids act in different settings and what is safe in different settings. because I've worked in 3 different child cares slash preschools now, and I've noticed what is safe for one set of children isn't necessarily safe for the next or the next. So you just gotta be on your A game with that. You can't consistently be dodging a bullet there, I guess. You've got to be on top of allergies and all that. You gotta make sure, like, your play equipment's safe, we call them marks, but, like, your toys, your centers, whatever you call them, you have to make sure it's all safe. I wouldn't turn my kid loose on a falling apart playground, would you? I always think in my mind, I don't have kids, but I think in my mind, if I were a parent, would I turn my kids loose on that? If the answer is no, then I'm not turning someone else's kid loose on it. Thank you.